Hi Vladimir, welcome to Java Day Istanbul for the second time in a row. We're glad you are here. I loved your talk. I loved your talk the past year also. And you are from Amsterdam, Jag, right?
Yeah. No, first of all, thank you very much for having me here. I really like coming to Istanbul, and this is the second time I'm here. I hope that this is just going to continue. I really hope that the talk was really good. Yeah, I'm founder and leader of Amsterdam Jag. Yeah,
so great. So you talked about GraphQL and traditional REST APIs. Actually, REST APIs is not a very traditional thing for us. So what's the motivation behind GraphQL? What's the motivation for using GraphQL? What would you say?
Okay. Well, basically, it's a good question. So if you know about REST APIs, if you already use them, then basically you can also think, okay, like why should I care about GraphQL? So that was also first my approach when I heard about GraphQL. So I went and basically learned more, read more, and basically I realized that GraphQL actually gives a lot of power to the end users, but not only the end users, it also gives a lot of power to the backend people, because every time you actually develop some API which actually talks with some other system, you need to think, okay, what should I send to that part? How it should look like? Then how to actually some changes in the future is going to happen? And basically, you have to tie like a contract between them. And then sometimes you can't really find nice ways to actually slice some system, especially if it's a big system. The nice thing about GraphQL is that you don't have to go through all that crazy stuff. You just define, okay, like what are the types and objects, basically like domains or business things that we're going to basically exchange, and that's much easier to reason about. And then basically just create a connections between them, because again, that's also something which is much easier to do. And then you say, okay, like here is all things. Now just go and ask whatever you want to do. And basically, both the backend and the frontend are completely separate. They can both go very happily. So also adding new features, usually it's much easier. Backwards compatibility is also much easier. So it basically gives more power to both sides, let's say.
So every good thing comes with a challenge, right? So what are the main challenges about GraphQL, implementing GraphQL?
Okay, so again, true, and again, good question. So the good thing about REST is that it's with us for a long time. So the knowledge is great. There are a lot of tools, libraries built around it to actually allow us to do stuff very easily in a very good way. GraphQL actually was public since 2015. So it's relatively still new. It was used in Facebook since a long time ago, I think it's since 2012. But again, there's not a lot of tools and knowledge about basically GraphQL as it is on the rest. So basically we're lacking knowledge, we're lacking tools, we're lacking also the street credibility, so to say. Also, if you go with the GraphQL, you can very easily shoot yourself in the foot if you don't understand internals and how it works. Because with GraphQL you add much more power to end users, and then end users can either by mistake or on purpose much easily kill your systems, which is something which is very bad. So we need to be aware of those kind of things.
Great talk. Is there anything you would like to add about GraphQL or Amsterdam Jag or anything?
Well, I would just like to add this very cool conference. I really like here. Like you have one of the best foods and venues, and I hope that I'm going to be here also next time.